I'm looking a little rough. Hi peeps, what's up, how are ya? I'm back! I was gone on vacation. I went to Italy for 2 weeks and did not have time in the week prior to prepare any videos to be scheduled to go up. Let's face it, you guys are pretty lucky if you get a video to begin with anyway when I am here, so we'll see if I can get back into the groove. This feels kind of foreign to be filming again. Anyway, I was going to share a little bit about what I learned about myself while I was on the Italy trip, and then also do the makeup that I did on the trip because I got so many compliments. 1 on my makeup, 2 on my skin. It's looking a little rough right now because breakouts and, you know, skin picking. Does anybody else pick their skin or is it just me? I feel like more people do it, but they just don't talk about doing it because it's kind of gross. And I got a lot of compliments on my tattoos. So those were the things that I got the compliments on the most while I was away. I like the attention, so thank you to all the peeps that gave me attention while I was there. Okay, let's start putting my face on because yikes! ColourPop is what I was using, what I've been using like, I don't know, for a couple of years now. This is the Pretty Fresh Light 60N Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I just take a pump of that on my hand. This is not the sponge I was using on the trip, but my sponge got really roughed up in my suitcase, so I had to get a new one. I don't think I put on any makeup today. My face is already primed. For the trip, I was just using my tinted sunscreen as my primer, but for today, since I'm filming at night after work, I used the e.l.f. Blemish Fighting Putty Primer as kind of the first step. See, I wish I would probably do more makeup videos if my camera was able to be used upstairs in my setup, but alas, my house is not the right space to make that happen for you guys. Next, we would go in with concealer. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer in 60N as well. This is my tanned shade, you guys. I was using my self-tanner to be a bronzed goddess on this trip. I was quite the sunscreen influencer on this trip because I have all my beautiful art to protect, so every time I got off the bus I was like reapplying again. Yeah, I did catch quite a bit of sun though, even though my sunscreen was like clinical level. The sun over there's just different. The sun sets. Oh, it's just magical. I want to go back so bad. I didn't want to come back to begin with. Next, I've applied my NARS eyeshadow primer. I did that off camera. What's the first thing I can kind of tell you guys that I learned about myself? Traveling fills my soul. It fills my heart and my soul. And not being able to do it for over 2 years killed me. I was the shell of a person and just languishing through life and didn't really have a purpose or an outlook or anything really. So the fact that I got an international travel, I haven't done that since 2018, it filled my soul. I had a newfound appreciation for life and a new focus and a new inspiration. It inspired me to maybe go back to school. So yeah, if you're not happy with your life, you can change it. You can do something different. You can start over, find a new inspiration. Mine is going to school to be an esthetician possibly, because I've always had a focus in skincare, a love for skincare, so why can't I help other people with their skin? And I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner, because I wanted to be a dermatologist as like my dream job as a child. So yeah, I don't know why the step down from being a derm was not on my radar at the time. So anyway, I will continue with the, what do I want to do next? Maybe I'll do contour. Matchsticks by Fenty. I've had this forever, but you know, it's still kicking. I did not bring down my contour brush. Oopsies, oh well. We're gonna be mixing and matching today. This is where I put my contour. This is what works for my face. This is what I've seen on TikTok. So I don't draw it all the way in. I just kind of go underneath the bulk of my cheek there, and then I blend that out. Oh, and I do my nose, I guess, too. Don't forget the nose. And then I just kind of blend that out. This is my blush brush. I would normally have a different brush for both steps. So the thing that I'm holding to use as my mirror is the One Size, what does he call this? Cheek Clapper 3D Blush Trio. This one's called Fat Ass, like PH fat. And so it's got Twerkalicious, Rosebud, and BBL. Brazilian butt lift, hence fat ass. Yeah, girl, works for me. I got the booty. I'm using the cream one, the Twerkalicious shade. Onto my cheeky buns. Give us a little bit of, ooh. Ooh, girl, she's seen the sun in Italy. Yes. Queen. A little bit on the nose for, yeah, that sun-kissed look. Yeah, going back to me saying I was a shell of a person before this trip, that's what this trip did to me. It like brought me back to life. And it's all thanks to like my travel agent helping me book it, and then my trip manager on the Kentucky trip. I did the Simply Italy, well, no, first I booked the Italian espresso trip, and then I was having so much fun that I elected to extend my trip. So that's another thing I learned about myself, is I can do more than 10 days overseas traveling. I ended up doing 14 instead by booking the second half of the Simply Italy trip called the Italian Escape. So yes, would highly recommend. I loved all the people on my trip. My trip manager. Not that I think he'll watch this, but you never know. Yes, I extended partly to do because of the setting, but I was having so much fun with the people that I was there with, my friends that I made really good connections with. That was another thing I learned about myself, is that I can have strong feelings again of like love and friendship and not having to numb myself, and that I'm really happy that I can have feelings again, because during the pandemic I really numbed myself to not feel the pain and the frustration of not being able to go out, see friends, what have you. We were very restricted, so having that freedom to feel the joy of life again, like I said, was so magical. So grateful to have had the experience that I had. Okay, moving on. Are we almost done with the base? Not quite. My highlighter, to give me even more of a dewy look, is from ColourPop. They don't have this shade anymore. I am so sorry. This one's called, I don't even know how to say this, Ueno. It's U-O-E-N-O. And I bought a backup of this because I like it so much, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. So I just kind of draw it on the high points, on the tip of my nose too. And blend it out with a finger. If ever I was getting too dewy or oily, I would reach for my Supergoop Resetting Powder. This has SPF of 45. I don't think this is available for everybody that was on the Italy trip. I live in Canada, so I'm able to buy this, but yeah, it has a little brush tip, and then you just kind of dot some on your hand to make some of the powder come out to the surface, and then just pat all around. This was good for your hairline too, to protect it, or your part line, sorry. Hairline and part line, so that you don't get nasty sunburn if you're not wearing a hat. I just did my eyebrows off of camera. What I had for that is the Anastasia brow pen. This is in taupe. And then the Kosas Airbrow Gel. I had the pencil of this too in Italy, but I used all of it and ended up throwing it out. Both of those shades are in taupe as well. What would be next? Okay, I wanted to show you guys these. For anybody that's watching that was on the trip and this was a really big hit for you, these are all my colored eye pencils. I was telling you that I have so many of them. These are them. I had the yellow, the blue, the teals, and I think that's what I brought. Oh no, I had this kind of corally shade too on the trip. And what I would do with these is I would put them in my waterline just for like a little pop of color. So I might do the majority of this stuff off camera just to save some time. And I also brought little travel size ColourPop. Those are from ColourPop as well. Eyeshadow palettes, just because they're really handy to carry around. These little quads. And then also this guy that has 5. Super fun, but just also neutral shades to kind of pop on. My base that I was using for a lot of my eyeshadow was actually this Dennis & Meyrick's Color Fix Cream. This is the one I used on the trip. It's in the shade Ballerina. And then I also got a new one today because I liked that so much, that method. This one's the same formula. These are waterproof. I should have used this for the Capri Day. I wouldn't have looked like such a wet rat. This one's called Gold Mine. Oh well, I don't care to be seen without makeup, but it's quite the dramatic difference on a beach day. Looking like a wet rat. So this would be my base. You literally just use your finger for this. Squeeze a little bit out. And you can put it on there, blend it out. I would blend this out all over my eyelid, and then my eyeshadows that I put over top of that would stay on literally all day. I would maybe touch up a little bit at night if some of it had creased and we were going to a dinner or a winery or one of the little add-ons that Kentucky does in the evening. But yeah, my makeup looked really good when I was over there. Okay, so that would be the base. You could wear that alone. That's so pretty. And then I think my look that was the most easy but also the most impactful came out of this palette. So I think what I did was I put this shade all over the lid, a little bit of that in like the outer here, and I think that was it really, because I would wear lashes too, so I didn't need too much on the lids because the lashes like cover it up mostly. So yeah, I'll pop that on quick and then I'll show you what I use for lashes. So I just applied those shadows in the way that I said from that small brown ColourPop palette. What's this one called for your reference? Sparkler is what this one is. And then I did the light teal color in the waterline for that pop of color that everybody loved. The ColourPop cream gel liner that I used for this look is called Zulu. And then I should probably tell you another thing that I learned about myself before I go on to lashes. I learned that I do not like to be alone. So what had happened was during the first portion of my trip, I had one roommate. She was part of my group. And then when they left, I had another roomie. And then at the end of the second half of my trip, she had to catch a really early flight. So when she left, I didn't cry when her and I hugged, but as soon as that hotel door closed, I went and sat on the bed and I just bawled. Because I realized that like I was then alone and it was the end of the trip and I was mourning my friends leaving and then me leaving Italy and how much fun and love I had experienced on that trip. I didn't want it to be over. So her leaving the room then made me realize I don't want that feeling, because I have that feeling a lot at home. I won't get into why, but it confirmed for me that I do not like that feeling and I don't like to be alone. Okay, lashes are next. So this neat little trick that I did that's very effective And it doesn't even have to be with the lashes that are from this brand. So you guys have probably seen the ads for Silly George. This is the liner bond. Oh wow, the writing is really coming off of here. It's a lash adhesive eyeliner. So what you do with this is you draw your eyeliner line with it, and then they do sell lashes that go along with the application kit. Speaking of, I totally forgot to bring these on my trip, so I was applying my lashes by hand. It's doable, but this is definitely way easier to do it with. A little more precision in the lash application. But what I was using instead of their eyelashes, because their band is a little bit thick and I wanted the lashes that I was wearing on vacation to be quite light and feathery. So again, ColourPop to the rescue. I brought these 3 with me. So based on what we were doing that day or night, I could jazz it up and be super glam, or I could be more natural. So these ones called Ms. Woo! Pretend that didn't happen. These ones called Ms. They're quite light and natural looking. These would be more of my natural day that I would wear those ones. These ones from the Hocus Pocus collection, these ones are called Boss Witch. They're a little bit more, I don't know, I would call it like the medium look if I was in between natural and glam. They're a little bit more thin on the inner portion of the eye, and then they get a little bit thicker on the outer portion of the eye towards the end. And then these ones were for my really glam days. These ones are called Queenie, and they're quite long and thick and look quite dramatic like me. I wore these ones on my birthday during the trip when we were in Milan and Lake Como. We got rained on super hard in Lake Como. But it's fine. Rain on your birthday is good luck, right? I think so too. I will apply the liner and the lashes and I'll be back. We'll do lips and then I'll tell you my favorite thing that I learned on the trip. I thought I should maybe show you how easy this is to put on. This is with my left hand, so easy, maybe, maybe not. Let's see how easy I make it look. Literally just kind of grabs and pops on, like, even with my left hand. Okay, yeah, I don't really mess with eyelash glue these days. And there would be my eyes for a day out in Italy, or a night. These ones were Boss Witch. By the way, lips. So I used quite the combination of lips. I had the Fenty Beauty Heat in the lemon shade. Of course I had to have the lemon shade when I was in Italy. But for like everyday wear, I was using the Kosas Wet Lip Oil. This is the shade Jellyfish, but I also had the shade Jaws, the red one, just for that summer glam look. I wouldn't even sometimes use lip liner, but I did bring lip liners for a little bit more definition. So this is a ColourPop lippy pencil in the shade Another Round. It's just kind of the terracotta nude. Me and my one roomie's lips were so swollen. She gets her lips done too. And yeah, our feet, our hands, ankles, you name it, everything was swollen from all the walking in the heat. Not fun, but fun at the same time. We suffered together all the swollenness. Okay, just kind of like a glossy pout. Perfect for summer, perfect for the heat. Easy peasy, and it tastes good. Okay, that is kind of my finished summer vibe in Italy, and now you know how to do it too. For general, when I wasn't wearing eyelashes, I just used the Maybelline Sky High mascara for when I was feeling a bit more cash or lazy. On to my favorite thing that I learned about myself and me and my second half of the trip roomie. Talked about this when we were in Salerno, I want to say. Or it might have been Capri. We may have been in Capri. I don't quite remember. On the Amalfi Coast. My favorite thing that I learned was that I can make friends by being my 100% authentic self, and that people would love me for exactly who I am, which is what I've wanted my whole entire life, pretty much. That was my motto in high school. It's like, be yourself, and if people don't like you, then they're missing out. It's their loss. And going on with that is like, I'm not really used to that because living in my super small town and people growing up with the idea of who someone is, the stories that other people have told someone else about you, it's like you're missing out on the person that they are now or the person that they've grown into by not getting to know them personally, because everybody grows and changes. Like, I've been in therapy now for almost 2 years. Back in my high school days, I was seeking out attention in all the wrong ways and getting myself into trouble with the relationships that I have with my friends by doing those kind of things. So yes, therapy has really helped heal, or help me on the path to healing my inner child that was hurt. Because I'm not a perfect person. Obviously, I'm still learning and growing. I combined those two words. Still lowing. Hashtag lowing. What? Yes, still learning and growing. My inner child is not fully healed or a fully realized person, but we're getting there. And I'm learning to let go of things that I can't control versus controlling what I can, which is my emotions and my reactions to certain things that have happened to me in the past or that happen to me presently or in the future. I have control of how I deal with the consequences of those things or the reaction that I have to those things. I find for myself too, I don't want to see or talk to old people from high school as like a coping mechanism or a way to protect myself from those bad memories, and I wouldn't blame other people if they did the same. I'm glad that I'm on a better path and that I've learned a lot over my years of healing and growing, of lowing. I love that though. That was a joke before, but it's kind of awesome. This will be another fun little memento of my trip that I'll get to watch later on and reminisce of all the good times that I had. I'm still not done posting on Instagram. I have like thousands of pictures, lots of videos to make still. I'm gonna remember this trip for a long time. It was very special to me, so thank you so much to everyone on the trip that made it special. Please, please keep in touch if you're still watching this. I love you! And we definitely have to plan more adventures together. I need to go on more adventures. It fills my soul, like I said. I hope you enjoyed my ramble about my trip and enjoyed a little bit of the inside look into why I looked so good on the trip. Everybody at home was like, oh my god, you look so good in every video and every post that we've seen you in. Like, how? This is the how. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Comment below the Italy flag for my peeps that are a part of the secret emoji fam that stay all the way to the end of the video. You're a real one and I love you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try and put out new videos for you guys every single week, like I say. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not. Still have my full-time job. Still trying to, you know, make a living so I can travel. And with all that being said, remember my peeps, be kind to each other in real life and on the internet and spread positivity everywhere that you go. And with that, we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!